Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 3 of Calanthe, the Blue Crystal. I'm your game master, Tatiana. With me, I have our dwarven tech support, Evin, and our 5 players are all awaiting their next adventure. And you're heading back with the monk, whose name you found out is Boggin. And he's a dwarf, by the way. He's the tallest dwarf, pretty much, that you've ever seen.
He's taller than Shiala.
Taller than Shiala. And he's definitely looking a little worse for wear. He's been through a lot, emotionally, mentally, but he also doesn't quite remember what exactly happened. He just knows with absolute conviction that he has to find Miras, and that she will have some answers. Could I have all 3 of you roll an Arcana check for me, please?
Wait, you said just everyone who's been to the church?
Yeah, everybody who's walking with Boggin right now back to Valent.
What is it with me and these Arcana checks?
0 training and you all rolled really well. That's awesome.
I did this the last time too.
It looks like the night air does wonders for all of you. Valent really agrees with you all. So you all get the sense that Boggin's memory may have been magically altered, because if you try to ask him about specifics, it's clear that it's more than just he doesn't remember, what he had for breakfast yesterday. It's more that he himself seems to be a little bit confused about what he's saying. Like, he'll maybe start to say something and then realize he doesn't know how to finish the thought. So you definitely get the sense that his memory has been magically altered, but you're not sure, of course, by whom or how much of his memory is gone. Ever since Ashwin left, we don't have any protection, It's just us. It's just with Mara, really. I can't do shit with my hands. It just...
Do I recognize that name, Ashwin?
Ashwin is sort of the only ruling house in this area that sort of stuck around after the war.
Okay.
And can you give me a history check, please?
I totally can. Please hold. History.
So you know that around the time that the war ended, the ruling noble house, Ashwin, the elder there died. He was kind of old, so nothing strange about his death per se, other than, yep, it was about time. But his son, Valendan, is fairly young, is fairly arrogant, and Valent became his new responsibility, and it was a responsibility that he did not want. And so, pretty much as soon as his father died, Valendan head over to Hammersham, to the capital, and started just schmoozing with the nobility there, because, as he figured it, Esternia was, on the way out as a power, and he didn't really care about the sad little village of Valent, sort of on the edge of this forgotten ancient battle site. Nobody ever came there. He wasn't interested in using his resources to build up the town, so...
Yeah.
So he left. And he took any, military or law enforcement, if you will, presence that had been in Balin during his father's time. He took that all away. And there didn't seem to be enough people even in Balin to warrant having any sort of policing force. And also there weren't even enough people really to warrant a criminal element either, because there was nothing. These people didn't have anything, right? They didn't really have a lot of stuff to even steal or do anything with.
Yeah.
So they were kind of just left to their own devices.
So that's how this guy kind of like rose to power. He just got some people together that were willing to like rough some people up, and he's just kind of taking control, basically.
That's the impression that you get from Alan.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you've got fireplaces, I've got something to do with these bodies.
Oh, ew. Oh, that's gross.
Uthmara looks at Makaria, raises an eyebrow, and her eyes light up. You mean burn them?
Jesus.
You have a better plan?
Uthmara looks at Alan. Alan kind of just shrugs at her. No, not really. I was just wavering between throwing them in the little river here or trying to bury them in the back, which I was not looking forward to. I don't know if that's not a good idea.
Well, it's not a. Did I hear any of that?
Yes, yeah, this is all happening in this little courtyard.
Okay.
Area here.
All right. When like you guys get closer, I'll just be like, well, it's not a terrible idea. It's just gonna smell really bad. Because like if you leave a lot of corpses out, especially after a big battle, or, you got to worry about disease and stuff like that. So burning it is normally what you do. I just like, if you want to do it in your fireplace, that's cool, but I would love to not have that happen in the fireplace that I'm gonna be sleeping around. But you guys can do whatever you want with the other ones. I don't mind at all.
Alan turns to Uthmara and she says, oh, we could do a bonfire.
I mean, yeah, that works. It is confusing sometimes, because if you haven't been around like burning bodies, it does faintly smell like cooking meat. So it's real weird. Just a heads up.
Uthmara ponders this for a second. She looks at Briffic, who's still sort of wavering in the doorway, looking like he's about to throw up. He's kind of hearing bits and pieces of this conversation. And then she looks at everyone and she goes, okay, there's a place probably not too far away from here. There's a nice secluded wooded area. We could build a bonfire there, drag these bodies, and just throw them on there, and no one will be the wiser. Karvak will never know. You guys in?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll help how I can. Hey, Brifok, you want to earn your keep? Help us carry some of these bodies.
Makaria laughs at that.
I think I'll just maybe stay here, and I can just make sure that they don't go anywhere. You know, like they'll be here, and I can prep them for you maybe, if that works. And he kind of looks like he's about to throw up.
How are you gonna prep them?
Just gonna make sure that their arms and legs are all,
Attach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'll just be in here. If you need any help, you just holler. You just holler at me.
Hey.
Makaria, can I have you do an investigation check as well?
Clean up after my mess, please.
Mine's not gonna be any better.
Hey. You were 5 better.
And you said you're looking for
Money and valuables.
money and valuables. So on Thoughtful Thug, you find
A poem.
a poetry scroll, yes. And it should be available now for you in roll 20.
Oh my god, it really is!
I can also read it out loud.
Yes, please.
Why are we still surprised by this?
I'm in love with it!
No, I love the fact that it was joked about last session, and she's like, "I'm actually gonna write a poem." Like, that's dedication. He did a good enough job.
I like that you were prepared for this.
Who, me?
No, the image.
Oh, yeah.
You
She's
guys
like,
want to burn
"Well,
everything.
Well, they're gonna have to get rid of the bodies, so that probably means burning them. I love it.
Did she also have a mass grave picture somewhere?
Ooh, that'd be terrible.
Sariel, can I have you do a perception check for me, please?
All right. That's not very good. Or is it?
So as Sariel, as you, Thrymbi, Shiala, and Boggin are making your way back to Balland, sort of in the distance from the road, you see what looks like flames. Just at first, maybe it looks like a campfire, but then you realize it's too large for how far away it is to be a campfire. Do you say anything to your group?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, there's a giant fire over there. Let's go check it out.
We have other business to deal with.
I'll check out the fire.
What if it's Maris? Or Miris?
Shiala looks to Boggin.
Boggin lights up when he hears that name. He's like, Miris is there? Let's go. And he...
Shiala just sighs and goes along with them.
Thrymbi's just staring at that bonfire, like real close.
Thrymbi.
Is he like licking his lips? Like,
God.
Jesus Christ.
No, we're not cannibals, but like, man, look at all this death.
Well, I mean, he's a dwarf. They're humans. Is it technically cannibalism?
Did I miss it? Did
Yes.
you guys explain, or did anybody ask about the bodies? I don't know.
We sort of did, and they
Yeah.
mentioned that they were thugs.
yeah, it was when they first showed up. They're like, "What happened?" I was like, "Well, we killed some people, and we got free rooms out of it."
It's fair exchange, fair exchange.
He did actually describe it better than that, luckily, or there would
Yeah,
be
I
a lot
did.
more questions.
Yeah. If anyone else is leaving, I guess.
Oh yeah. Terrific. We should probably try to shake him out of his stupor and bring him with us.
No,
Poor guy.
I was gonna talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know what's going on.
I'm gonna leave.
Sariel, do you try to stay behind also, or?
Nope. He said he wanted to talk to him, so I just leave.
She sees she's not wanted here.
What? I didn't mean it like that.
I'm used to being unwanted.
Oh god,
Oh,
I didn't mean it like that. Sorry, I'll come back.
no.
My heart bursts.
I pretend not to hear him and keep walking.
So Callum will turn back around, and he won't really look at Briffic, but he'll kind of do what he's doing and just stare at the fire. And he'll say, is this your first time seeing dead bodies?
It's just your kind of common cheddar cheese. Nothing too fancy, but it smells fresh and good.
All right, I cut off a bit of that, and I go to and I take some of the fish, and like this whole time I'm touching cheese, I'm touching fish. I'm just like touching one then the other, raw fish, cheese, raw fish, cheese, bread, and I try to fix myself a cheesy fish sandwich. And I'm just touching everything. I'm just touching everything. No hand washing. Just touching everything.
I think the worst part is that he's just having raw fish with cheese on bread.
Sushi.
Can I have you roll a Constitution check for me, please?
All right. A save or a check?
Check.
Oof. Wait, does my dwarven resilience, which gives me advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance against poison, do anything?
Let me see. What does that say? Yeah, we'll go with that. So you make yourself this cheese fish sandwich, and it tastes decent. Looks like the fish hasn't been out long enough for it to like spoil, really. So you're able to eat it with no problem.
All right, I make another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I eat that and I go to bed.
Heads into the kitchen to grab a bowl of soup. Sees Thrymbi eating. She looks at him and says, "Oh." Sees the fish and then looks at him. She's like, "Oh, how's that sandwich?"
It's good. Reminds me of my hometown by the sea. Here, try some. And I just offer her the sandwich like that I just took a bite out of. The bite face is facing her.
She looks at you, looks at the sandwich, grabs it, smells it, and then she kind of gives a shrug. She goes, "Yeah, okay." Takes a bite, and gonna do a Constitution save for her.
Oh my god, are you guys married now?
In orc culture.
And she hands back
Romance
the
achieved.
she hands back the sandwich. She goes with her mouth full. She kind of says, "Yeah, this is pretty good actually."
Shut up!
I never thought to put cheese and fish together in that manner, but I think you're onto something there. And she goes and grabs the soup pot from the fire.
Oh my god, this is definitely one of the NPC love interests she was talking about.
And Thrymbi has stumbled into it.
I was
We
just
got the
gonna
best
say.
romance options.
She just grabs a
There's that
bowl,
song,
puts the
Dwarf
soup in
Fork.
there.
I'm staring at her because there's nothing else to watch, and I'm just like staring at her while I slowly eat the sandwich.
It's so creepy.
Before she finishes everything and heads back up, she notices you still have like one bite left, and she kind of looks at it like she maybe wants that bite.
Bountica wow wow.
Oh shit!
Thrymbi says, "I can teach you the recipe. You know, you take a fat slice of cheddar, you put it on, you slap it on a fish, put them both, slap it in a sandwich. You should add it to your menu. That's what you should do." And I take the last bite.
I knew that was coming.
Uthmara starts to head out, looks back. She says, "Maybe I will," and gives you a little wink as she heads out.
Jeez. This doesn't register with Thrymbi at all because he's never been like flirted with or approved of, because he's like he's Thrymbi. And then
Callum wakes up to a knock at his door. It's very soft, but it's loud enough to wake you up.
Okay. He will kind of yeah.
And you hear Lucan's voice, the driver from the carriage.
I don't like that image.
And he says, "Are you awake, Callum? Are you awake?" And you hear him through the door.
I mean, yeah, I am now. Hold on, give me a second. And he'll walk over to this door, and he'll knock on it.
Who there?
It's Callum. You decent?
No. Thrymbi goes out and opens the door anyways, fully naked.
Oh God, Thrymbi, please, come on, man, put it away.
What do you want?
Hold on a sec. Go back inside. We can talk through the door. Jeez, man. Come
Thrymbi
on.
shrugs and closes the door, and then he's like, through the door. All right, what do you want?
So we might have some work. There's a guy that needs our help. It sounds like it's urgent. So meet us downstairs in 5 minutes. Grab all your stuff.
All right.
Okay. And please wear pants.
Nita say, "Wake up." And this filigree fox kind of unravels from his hand. It's tiny. I'm just making it so you guys can see it.
Mega Fox.
Mega fox. And it starts to. He sets it down on the ground, and it starts to move, and it seems to act a little bit like a cat, and also like a dog. And it starts to come up to you, Makaria, and its blue gems are kind of sparkling in the corridor there. And he says, he's like, "This is Nita say. She's very important to me, and she's really helped me a lot, and I think you could use her. So I wanted to give this to you, and you should take care of her, okay? Don't let her die." And he'll I'm gonna give you actually access to this, Makaria. 1 second.
Thrymbi goes up to the woman behind the bar and looks her up and down and says, "You Pasha, you the pimp?" And he spits on the floor when he says pimp.
Shiala smacks him in the back of the head.
Callum will walk over and take a seat.
Shiala then asks more politely, Are you Pasha?"
She looks at Thrymbi. She's used to that kind of reaction. And looks at Shiala and she nods. Yeah, who's asking?
We met a dwarf named Boggan. He was the only survivor we found at the Church of Light. It looks like it's been ransacked.
Loken asked us to come here. I say also in a hushed voice. He's right outside.
Says some kind of pimp ran into trouble, and I spit on the ground when I say pimp again.
Shiala smacks him again.
Thrymbi, you have to be quiet.
I calls him as I sees him. Can I push past Pasha to go places?
Yeah, you can walk by her.
Okay,
Going
that's,
places, man.
1,
I mean, if
2,
you want to shove her, that's
4.
it's your prerogative, I guess.
Shove Makaria out of the way, too.
No, Makaria's a ranger. She knows to move out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not bothered at all.
Can I hit the thug that's advancing on Sariel from here with my hammer?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna try to cast Inflict Wounds on him.
Ooh. I love
that a hit?
inflict wounds.
Yes.
Alright, let's see. We got 3
Sure
D10.
hope so.
Ho!
Oh!
Nice.
That is why I love inflict wounds.
Hot diggity damn.
You could die at any second, like right now.
No kidding.
That thug doesn't know what hit him, and he kind of stumbles forward, almost falling onto Sariel, but manages to keep upright.
Nice.
Romance option unlocked.